Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley Jenkins.
I'm Miles Luna.
Thanks to the PS4 Pro announcement and some significant trash talking from Microsoft over the last couple of weeks, we've suddenly found ourselves right back in the middle of the console wars all over again. You know, the ones that we thought were long done.
The Great War. The company's hoping Xbox Scorpio puts them back on the map, but some new comments made by Microsoft show that the Xbox One could be much deeper in the hole than anyone thought possible. Plus, we may have a little bit more to go on regarding the price of Microsoft's next console.
So here's the hint. It's gonna be premium, whatever that means. Yeah, usually that's what that means. Each of these statements comes from the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, who's been conducting a number of interviews with the press while at Xbox Fan Fest in Australia.
And judging from one of those interviews, the Xbox One is way off target this generation, according to Spencer.
You don't say!
The original projections for Xbox One sales were in the neighborhood of 200 million units sold, which is quite a bit more than what they've currently done by all estimates.
That's really optimistic. In an interview with Steve Ivor, hey, good job, Steve Ivor! Shout out, a friend of mine.
I like his name.
I'm just really proud of how far he's come.
I like to think that he killed all the other Steves and is there for the Anyways, let's continue on with actual news.
Spencer spoke at length about his leadership of the Xbox division. When talking specifically about the goals of Xbox One, Spencer said, the goal that the team had was to figure out how could we sell 200 million game consoles. We've never seen a console sell that many units. The biggest individual console, the PS2, did 120 million or something like that.
They thought they were going to beat the PS2?
So yeah, they thought, hey, the biggest console ever sold 120 million, let's just almost double it.
Yeah,
what could go wrong?
Also, I like the strategy. Guys, let's try to make some money this time. Let's try and sell more. That's like people that say, we should make a viral video, or let's make a blockbuster movie. Fuck you. All right, it's actually closer to 160 million units, Phil, and
on the PS2? Yes.
And the best-selling console ever by far. Which actually makes it more ridiculous that Microsoft thought they could shatter the record by so much.
Just by wanting it. Spencer went on to say that part of the reason they felt so confidently about that insane number is because of the integration of streaming video and over-air TV into Xbox One. In a generation that's rapidly cutting the cable cord, Microsoft felt they could be at the center of that shift, potentially leading to big console business, I guess even from not gamers who are looking for a new solution to their TV.
I feel like I'm Xbox's big problem because I have neither an Xbox One or cable. That 200 million number is a ridiculously huge goal. Not just because the PS2 didn't even make it near that threshold, but also because the Xbox 360 only made it just north of 85 million consoles sold.
And that was an enormously well-selling, successful console.
I fucking love my Xbox 360. All 8 of them, because they always broke. It doesn't take a statistician, fuck you, Eddy, or whoever wrote this, to figure out that they didn't have a great shot of clearing 200 million Xbox One sales, but they've undershot it by a huge amount. Estimates right now paint the company as having moved around 22 million Xbox One sold.
Yeah, and I think that estimate might be a little bit out of date, but regardless, we're talking like 10. You know what? Let's be like really nice and just say that somehow they've magically doubled that number. 20% of that goal. They're shooting for the moon and landing among the stars, and then they're shooting for the moon and landing in Cleveland. That's closer to what they've done.
But Cleveland's nice this time of year. Microsoft's lofty projections fall in line with what one anonymous Xbox insider said back in June, claiming the company had estimated at least double the amount of Xbox Ones in the wild by this point in its life cycle. That would put it closer to the PS4 sales, which actually is outpacing the sales of the PS2. That's nuts.
That's all you had to do, Xbox One, was be PS4. And just to give it a little bit more context as to how lofty Microsoft's aims were for this generation, in case our giggles and sneers and everything aren't doing it for you. The DS, throughout its entire lifetime, this is the best-selling handheld of all time, only hit a total of 154 million. And that's over 12 years and 4 different SKUs. The DS, the DS Lite, the DSi, and DSi XL. If you want to go nuts, add it to the sales of the 3DS. At 60 million units, that puts the DS and 3DS combined just ahead of 200 million at around 214 million combined.
They really went for it.
They really did.
And that's good. You should, but whew.
Never be satisfied with just okay. You want to be great, but
yeah. All right. Well, even still, Microsoft thought the Xbox One could beat that in a single generation, but you never know. Reiterating on the current generation for the rest of the time could help them cheat their way to that number.
I mean, it seems to be looking up for them. At the moment, let's be fair, since the Xbox One S launched in August, Xbox One sales have seen as much as a 1,000% increase in sales in territories like the UK, as has been reported elsewhere this week. Although sometimes those numbers get fiddly, Amazon will say it's up 1,000%, and that just means that it's up like 1,000% in terms of its sales rank, not units. But even so,
it's better. It's good.
Better.
Yeah,
it's better.
They're building the new teraflop-filled Dream Machine as the most powerful console ever made, which is leading to some questions about its price.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most critical factors in how it's going to perform for the Xbox brand and whether it can help them dig their way out of that hole. One of the big strikes against the Xbox One was that it launched at $100 more expensive thanks to Kinect, everyone's favorite peripheral. I like it, but I get why people
They
don't.
tried.
They tried. I do like talking to my console, but I understand why a lot of people don't want to pay $100 for that privilege.
I do that, but that's just because I live alone.
That's so sad.
I was waiting for a laugh and was met with stunned silence. Let's talk more about the news.
Okay. With the PS4 Pro announced at $400, Microsoft probably needs to price Scorpio pretty carefully.
In another interview this week, Spencer actually gave a few hints about what people can expect to pay for the most powerful console ever made. Speaking with Win Beta, the Xbox boss emphasized that the Scorpio will be a premium product and priced accordingly.
Sounds a little bit ominous. Thankfully, the Spence. Can we call him the Spence?
Please don't.
We don't have anyone to call like a really weird name since
we not?
Cliffy B said we can't call him Cliffy B anymore.
We
So
just had Stiviver, all right?
Okay, all right, fine. Stiviver it is. The Spence. All right, no, you're right. That doesn't sound right. All right, Spencer also tried to alleviate any fears that the price was going to be something outlandish and unprecedented, saying, I wouldn't get people worried that this thing is going to be unlike any console price you've ever seen. We didn't design it that way.
That being said,
Didn't the PS3 launch at like $600?
Yeah, it was something stupid high, yeah. Spencer went on to elaborate that Scorpio and the Xbox One S are very much in the same family and product line, and that the pricing of Scorpio would be in line with what we see with the Xbox One S.
And that the sales count towards Xbox One's 200 million goal. There are actually two different ways to read all the comments that Spencer is making. On the one hand, saying it's not unlike any console price we've ever seen could mean it's in the $500 to $600 range, as we've absolutely seen machines launch at in the past, specifically the PS3.
Yeah. But on the flip side, Scorpio is still probably around 1 year away. So it's feasible that even though it's significantly more powerful than the PS4 Pro, it could launch around the same price at about $399.
I love how technology gets so much cheaper so quickly. So the big question is whether or not the Scorpio could be enough to reverse the Xbox One's fortunes this generation back to what Microsoft originally hoped for. Now, from the look of current trends, the answer is, well, it's both yes and no.
Yeah, at this point, the PS4 has such a massive lead on the Xbox One that shy of giving the things away for free and unleashing a barrage of exclusive titles, it's going to be incredibly hard for Microsoft to catch up, and there's almost no way they're going to suddenly catapult to that 200 million number, even if Scorpio turns out to be a huge hit and Xbox One S continues to sell well.
That being said, the shift in their console strategy could be something that proves to be a huge boon for them in the long term. People are already excited about the improvements, features, and the price of the Xbox One S, which is fueling those huge spikes in sales. And the 4K Blu-ray drive is for sure going to be a difference maker. As more people adopt 4K TVs, and also the Xbox One S has a 4K Blu-ray drive, and PS4 Pro doesn't.
If that maintains into Scorpio and then future iterations of the Xbox One after that, we could very well see Xbox in a much better position in a few years, especially if Sony brings out a PlayStation 5 and starts a brand new generation. With the new approach Microsoft is taking, generations are, in a way, rendered obsolete, and there's no reason to switch over and lose all your old content and games.
Alright, so it's a long-term play, for sure. So across all Xboxes forever and ever in the future, which are all definitely part of the Xbox One, maybe they'll hit 200 million. But we'll just have to see how gamers respond to the PS4 Pro and the Xbox Scorpio, and we'll see how they do then.
Now
I guess.
this isn't written, but I also got to throw in one other thing.
Okay, throw it in.
Xbox is now doing, if you buy it digitally, you have it on Windows 10 and Xbox.
Not everything, but a
Not
bunch of their
everything.
recent first-party titles. So, Gears of War 4 is doing it, Forza Horizon 3 is doing it, Recore did it.
Interesting.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and as
When
far
it
as
works.
I'm concerned, the most powerful gaming machine I have is my PC. What do you guys think of Microsoft falling way behind in its projections for the Xbox One? Will Scorpio be enough to change everything? Let us know in the comments.
And for future updates on Xbox Scorpio and the console war we all thought was over, like this video and subscribe to the know.
Oh, and spoiler alert, she's not that tall.
Hey!
The company's hoping Xbox...
War never changes.
Sorry, I just wasn't ready for that. It was the gravelly voice that got me off. Should we take that again?
I'm the next Ron Perlman.
Sorry.